days, Israel's been saying that a ground invasion of Gaza is imminent, but the hostage situation is complicated, an already seemingly impossible task. Hunting Hamas block by block, tunnel by tunnel, through one of the most densely populated cities in the world. It seems the strategy might be to soften those areas before the attack. Heavy bombing overnight killed more than 400 people in Gaza, including several terrorists, according to Israeli defense forces. But troops remain stationed on the border as the country calculates its next move. Joining us now is Tal Heinrich, spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Tal, thanks so much for joining us. I'm just curious, do you have any information on the status of the two hostages, how they are health-wise, physically? We saw some video of them, by the Red Cross being led into an ambulance. They looked a little shaky.
I can only confirm that they are now in Israel. They arrived at one of the hospitals here. I do not know anything about the status in which they arrived from Gaza. But as Ophir said, your previous guest, we are very glad to see that they are in Israel, but we want to see all hostages out of Gaza. We want to see our sons and daughters back. We want to see the husbands of these two women back. They are 83-year-old and 85-year-old men. Some children are being held in captivity there for 17 days now, Elizabeth. This is unfathomable what they have done to us, and they will pay a very heavy price for that. We are also calling on the international community to back us to back us up in our demand that the Red Cross would pay a visit to examine the status of more than 200 other hostages still in Gaza.
How many of these, do you have any intelligence at all on how many of these hostages are still alive? We're talking, it's more than 2 weeks now that they've been captive in Gaza. The conditions are obviously dire and very, very bad. Do you have any idea how many of those 200 plus hostages are still alive?
What we have is very careful assessment. So we know that the IDF had notified about 22, but now two are back. So make the calculations. Families in Israel that they know that Hamas is holding their loved ones in captivity. But going back to your previous interview with John Kirby, we still know that nearly between 100 and 200 people are unaccounted for. By unaccounted for, after 17 days, we mean it could be three things. There could be held hostages. They could be deceased now, but their bodies are in Gaza, and they could be dead, but here in Israel, but we cannot identify them because the bodies are beyond recognition. They burned people. They turned people into ashes. So it is very, very tough an impossible work for forensic pathologists to try to identify some of these victims.
I can't, that must be incredibly difficult work. But I must ask you, there are many in Israel who are critical of Netanyahu for failing to protect civilians in this terror attack. And there was another big protest in Israel today calling on Netanyahu to have his primary focus right now be on finding and releasing these hostages. That should be his #1 priority, not a ground invasion and retribution. Is that his #1 priority, getting these hostages out?
So we have definitely two priorities. Getting the hostages out is definitely one of them, but we can also no longer live next to an existential genocidal threat named Hamas. This is a decision that we took as a nation. Now, as for political discussions, you know Israel, and you probably covered what has happened here over the past year. We hold very fierce political debates, but right now the country is united with this goal of winning and dismantling Hamas, hitting them so hard that by the end of this operation, they will lack the military capabilities and the motivation to hurt us as they did on October 7th.
Right, but
we cannot go back to October 6th.
No, I know, Tal, but you do know that inside Israel, there have been several protests from people demanding that getting the hostages back be the first priority before a ground invasion. That's what I'm asking you.
We are making all kind of considerations right now. Our military brass, our unity government, which is reflective of the unity among our people. These are the ones, these are the important people taking all the important decisions right now when different parameters are being taken into account. Once we decide to go into stage 2, stage 3 of this mission to crush, to dismantle Hamas, we will take all these parameters into account, of course. And we also consult with American and international counterparts because, as we know, foreign nationals are also being held captive there.
They are. All right. Tal Heinrich, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. Really appreciate your updates.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.